Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. You are listening to a rebroadcast of a previously recorded show.
All right, I would like to welcome to the program author John Moeller, Chef John Moeller of Dining at the White House, from the President's Table to Yours. John, thanks for calling.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the invite. It's great to be here.
I think it's so cool. I'm sure it's a water cooler conversation to say that you were the chef at the White House, right? When you first meet people?
It turns a few heads. They're like, wow, never met anybody who did that before, you know? So that's why I decided after I spent 2.5 years working on my this memoir and cookbook here, and I think we got a great product here. It just came out on September 24th.
Absolutely. And when you kind of have that, again, to be invited to the Miami Book Fair, that's pretty cool as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have a bit of a connection there. I got family and friends that live in the Miami area. One of my best friends has a restaurant over in South Beach, so I get down here once or twice a year.
Absolutely, and kind of talking about, I guess, specifically enough, and I know Eric has a ton of questions, so this is kind of up Eric's alley for sure. It's always up my alley as well with the historical background is, I guess, when you are a chef for presidents, the kind of menus will vary based on the president, won't it?
It does to a degree, and in a lot of ways they kind of eat a lot of similar things too, you know. But we have to watch and listen carefully to likes and dislikes, and make sure that we give them a great meal every day that they love to enjoy, and make that stay in that White House as comfortable as possible while they're there.
John, what's that job interview like? I mean, do you have to cook a sample dish or background check? You have to carry firearms? What's it like to get a job at the White House?
It was pretty unique there. I mean, I happened to move into the D.C. area in '87. I had spent 2.5 years in Europe. I was in France working in the mid-'80s for a while, and then also spent a year down in the Virgin Islands. And when I got to D.C., I had met a local chef who was French-born, and he brought me on to his restaurant. And after a couple of weeks of working together, he invited me to a local gathering of other chefs, all French chefs, that is. And at that gathering, I met my future boss at the White House. And his name was Pierre Chambrun, and he was the sous chef there for like a year or two. Then when he was going to get the chef position, he was looking for an American that knew something about French cooking. So my 2.5 years of France was what set me apart from the other candidates at that point in time.
Very nice.
So who would you say your favorite president is? Can you say that?
They were all my favorites, you know, of course, you know. But, I mean, for cooking-wise, probably Bush Sr. probably edged out everybody a little bit on the variety of different foods that they used to eat. They like to challenge themselves on a lot of different things. I mean, they were very well traveled, and they knew a lot of different cuisines. So that was a lot of fun working for them. But it was an honor and a privilege to work for them all.
Now, John, you worked for both the Bush and Clinton families? That
is correct. Mm-hmm.
And what was there? Are you allowed to give us any favorite dishes about what the presidents really enjoyed?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's part of. Well, in the book here, I bring out the recipes of official functions that we did. I didn't get too much into the day-to-day meals on recipes. I just kind of talked about them. But one of the favorites was a chicken enchilada. I came up with a pretty good enchilada recipe, and both the Clintons and the Bushes enjoyed it a lot. Also, I brought down a recipe from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's a chicken pot pie, but it's the type that you make the noodles and you fold it into it, and you cook the dough into it, not put it on top as a crust. And both Clinton and Bush did the exact same thing. They gave me a thumbs up and said, "This is the kind of food I like," you know.
That's awesome. I have family from Lancaster, so I actually have had that dish. It's amazing. It really is good.
Excellent. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, then.
Yeah, exactly.
John, what would you say is the strangest dish a president's ever requested?
Well, usually they don't request. They usually make up a menu for the week, and they'll have it up in their area so they can look at it from obviously Sunday through Saturday. But strange dishes, not too out of the ordinary stuff there, you know. And there was one thing they had asked for one time. It was one of the first ladies. They were having a birthday party, and one of the brothers came up and said that this is something that we used to serve when we were kids, and it was something called bologna tra-la-la. And I said, what's that? So they take a piece of bologna, cut it kind of thick, and then cut the center out of it to make it look like a donut. So you got a hole in the middle of it, and you throw it in the pan, and then you fry an egg in the center where the hole is, and then you flip it over, and you got this egg suspended in the bologna. Of course, it wasn't the president ordered; it was more the First Lady's brother ordered it, and so that was something a little bit different that I've not come across and haven't been asked to do since either.
Interesting.
That sounds good. Is that in the book?
It is not. That is not.
No, then you're going to have to tweet about that, or you're going to have to Facebook about that and get us the recipe, because that sounds yummy, especially that many hours. Luckily, I had my wife come and serve me a sandwich. Not trying to say serve like serve, but she was being very polite and saying, "I know you've been broadcasting this whole time." And Eric, I don't know what Eric's been doing since he's not a wife.
I've had a stack of food here stashed. I've been eating between interviews.
No, how far away are you? Because I just did a demo, and I created a yellow chanterelle mushroom soup on a demo down here at the book fair at 11 o'clock to 12:30 today.
Nice.
So I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he's in Tampa. So Tampa, there's a better shot for that. And where do you currently live, John?
In Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I relocated back there a couple years ago, and I opened up a catering business called State of Affairs Catering.
Oh, that's amazing.
Do you ever go to Pittsburgh, John?
I have on occasion. Yep. My son was he went to University of California, Pennsylvania, south of Pittsburgh. He was there for a couple of years, and then I had a brother that was working in was it Beaver Falls? Beaver Falls. I
was just in Lancaster about 3 or 4 months ago, so I have family up there. I go back and visit quite often, but it's a fun little town.
It is. It's very pretty, and what I really love about there is I have a good connection with the local farmers, both Amish and non-Amish, and I'm getting some really great products. A lot of times I'm out in the fields picking it with them, and I take it down to shop and I cook it for my clients, and there's nothing better than getting good fresh produce like that.
Oh, I know, and the Amish have such great farms out there too, and a lot of the natural, like the preserves and a lot of the different dishes that they make as well and sell in the farms are amazing.
Yep, it's real comfort food,
Yep.
So, what so far have your readers told you about what they've liked most about the book? You've gotten
I hear
good
a lot of things. They love the way I tell the story, and I talk about my beginnings in Lancaster, and then I went to Johnson & Wales University for culinary up in Providence, Rhode Island. Spent a few years there. Then my trip over to Europe when I was there for 2.5 years in France, and then down the Virgin Islands, and all the little serendipitous stories that went along with it. Put it down on paper finally. People find it very entertaining. They say, "Wow, that's a very entertaining story." Plus, they like the way that I intertwine some history along with my story on presenting this book to everybody. So I just didn't tell a story, and I didn't have like just a chunk of photos in the middle to flip through and then get back to the story. We use all the documents and photos that I've collected, and some other ones that we added to the collection to help illustrate the story. And people really seem to enjoy that too.
Absolutely, and it's quite interesting about it. Would you say your time after leaving, being the chef of all these presidents, is it difficult to finally leave the White House?
It wasn't easy, in some ways. I kind of knew it was just time to move on and start doing something different here, but I did miss taking care of the family. You get to a point where you almost know them so well, you're making food for them that they want. That they were like, hey, I have a hankering for that chicken tortilla soup today, and you brought it to me. So you kind of get. That's when you know you really did it well. Is when you cook something for them. They're like, hey, I was in the mood for that today.
Absolutely. You already were able to kind of show your craft at the Miami Book Fair. Are you going to be any other activities you're participating in today?
Today I'm just kind of working my way around and doing a couple of interviews. I did the cooking demo earlier, and then tomorrow afternoon we got a panel discussion here at the book fair. So that's going to be at 1 o'clock.
So tell us about the panel discussion.
I believe it's Patricia Wells and also Norman Van Aken.
Awesome. And I'm sure you're kind of really connecting with those other authors at this event and saying, "Wow, who's who of people you're running into, aren't you?"
Well, I haven't seen any big-time authors yet. I mean, I literally came out of my cooking demo earlier. I did a tour with the chefs over there. I came over, got something to eat. I did 2 interviews. So I'm just going to get out now and kind of start moving around. So this is my opportunity after this interview. Mm-hmm.
Well, fantastic. Where can we purchase your book and learn more about you?
Well, obviously, Amazon's always a big one. I mean, that's the big gorilla out there. Also, our website is diningatthewhitehouse.com. Facebook also, you can follow that and kind of see what I've been up to and all the different activities I've been doing. I was in Denver, Colorado 2 weeks ago doing the Denver International Wine Festival. I kind of competed against other area chefs there. I was the only outsider. and did a book signing and talk over there also. And next week I'm going to be up in New York, up in Yonkers, at a store up there. I can try to remember the name of it exactly. It's on the tip of my tongue here, but we're out there moving around doing things. But you can always catch us at Amazon or buy it through our website.
Well, I appreciate you coming by the studios, and best of luck and enjoy the Miami Book Fair. You got another day after today, and you're going to get to meet a lot of cool authors and share a lot of different things. So thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I'm really glad I came down. I mean, it's beautiful what they've done down here with this. It's a big event. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Life Improvement Radio. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the expressed written consent of Life Improvement Radio is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.